Sunday is International Women's Day. It's a day to celebrate the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. And though it's 2020, women are still facing challenges in the workplace, and in many cases, not being given the same opportunities as their male counterparts and the same pay as their male counterparts. Joining me now is Caroline Codsi. She's the founder of Women in Governance. Women in Governance certifies businesses that are working to achieve gender parity. Welcome.
Thank you, Farah.
So let's start off, Caroline, by talking about how Canadian companies are doing. You're here actually for a gala tonight to certify some Canadian companies.
Well, exactly. We've launched this certification 4 years ago, and we've got about 60 organizations that have gone through the process. We measure from entry level all the way to the executive committee and to the board to see what organizations do to allow women to progress without sticky floors, without glass ceilings, and we're helping them close the gender gap in the workplace.
And you're looking also for sustainable solutions, policy changes. This isn't just kind of you've done great this year and we'll see what happens next year. It's you're really making a measure to make a difference.
Well, exactly. So we look at the quantifiable data, so the number of women at each level, and we look at many different metrics. There's about 100 different metrics that we look at. But if we see that the organization is just certifying because this year they're doing really well and they don't have the policies that are going to make this sustainable on the long run, they could lose points over that.
And you've started in Canada, but now you're looking to the States too to do the same thing.
Well, we launched last week in the States a really big partnership with the Girl Scouts of the USA. They have been for over a century working on leadership for girls, making them more confident, more competent, more bold, and preparing them for tomorrow's world.
Right.
And in the meantime, Women in Governance is going to be working on corporate America, preparing all these organizations to allow these girls to come in and progress
it's
to the top.
It's a great way to show accountability almost too, right? So not saying we're doing something, but here you have a certification. I want to talk to you about something, and that is getting men involved in the conversation and why you think that's important. Because right now, post-Me Too, I have personally heard from men who say, well, I'm uncomfortable mentoring a woman or being alone in a room or going for dinner with a woman with, everything that, of course, we've gone through here. So talk to me about that.
So I hear that a lot as well. I mean, at Women in Governance, we have our own mentoring program where we have male and female CEOs who mentor women who want to make it to the top. And I have heard that, where they don't want to be alone with a woman. So I say, if you don't want to mentor a woman, just mentor two. So that would be a good solution. And quite frankly, Farah, Women in Governance couldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for the tremendous support that we've had from men. They need to be part of the solution. They want to be part of the solution. They don't always know how. But if you make it very open to them to come in and support you, that's what they want to do. So we've got a board that is co-chaired by a man and a woman. We've got men in our permanent team, we've got men in every committee, and they're actually making a difference alongside us to close the gender gap.
You were nominated by the Prime Minister to be part of a small group of people who are looking at this throughout the country. Are there policies in terms of government that need to change? Are there quotas that need to happen? Tell me your perspective.
Well, I would say that the fact that we have no legislation to bring more women on corporate boards is not helpful. If we compare ourselves to other countries, our numbers in terms of female CEOs is less than 5% of CEOs are women in Canada. We've got about 21% of women on corporate boards, and a third of publicly traded companies don't have one woman. That's unreal.
On the board?
On the board.
A third.
It's an all male pale-tail board. That's what we've got. So these are things that you don't see in Europe. So France, for instance, has 40-some% of women on their boards because of legislation since 2017. The Scandinavian countries were the first ones to adopt that. And in Quebec, we've got that type of law for crown corporations. So all our, our hydro, our liquor board, etc., has parity. So if you legislate, you find the women. You don't legislate, you find excuses.
You're in these small meetings. I mean, could that be a reality? Could we be seeing that at some point?
I'm not sure that we're going to get there. I've been lobbying for years on that question. And this is actually why we launched the parity certification, because we said, if there's no legislation, let's make companies accountable, and let's make them want to do this for economic reasons, because they will have more diversity of thought, they will have more innovation, and there's going to be an impact.
At the end of the day, we've seen study after study saying it makes economic sense. Caroline, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Farah.